how do you feel about the future and because there is this reality, at least in my view, where what the kind of things we just talked about kind of accelerate and get worse. And yes, maybe the average person might need a different level of privacy for different reasons, might not need absolute anonymity. Um, but as we become these kind of like IDs in a database, right? We're all numbers in a MySQL database. And then the technology gets like I say, accelerated, and it gets better, and it can track us more. Um, how do you kind of feel about that future? And I'm sure you would agree that privacy is going to get even more important in the future, and even more obvious. Actually, I think we're kind of like we're sort of seeing the issues arise. We can sort of point to these examples of like in Canada, in the truckers, and then the war in the Ukraine. We can talk about what was the other one
COVID,
in
COVID,
Iran. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
COVID.
COVID, yeah, I mean, yeah, the examples are endless, but these have all been quite recent. Um, and maybe a decade ago we had like a little bit of a rumble with Facebook, and everyone was like, oh, maybe Facebook's a bit, dangerous. Obviously we had the whole Five Eyes, we had, Edward Snowden, and there has been a lot of sort of exposure, and the public has seen kind of some of the darker sides, but um, I think we've only just got to kind of like a kind of stage one of AI, right? And that's coming. Um, and so yeah, just to I don't know if I see what you think about that. Like, how do you view
Yeah.
that future?
So let me start from one thing that when pyramids were constructed, I guess the worshippers who were going to pyramids, they see them as these mega structures, way like God's creation. Like you're so small to those big constructions that you feel yourself as an ant, obedient and follower and a worshipper, and you are ready to follow any command. So I think the same happens with the negative news around us, because it's interesting that when I'm thinking about the war in Ukraine specifically, or a COVID, we were trapped in doom scrolling. But not just that. Many people were trapped into fighting with each other instead of literally solving the problems by uniting, because that's the only way. Sometimes putting aside your own political differences, beliefs, religious differences, whatever. And I was thinking recently that sometimes I got bored about these mega visions of let's fix the internet, because maybe I will die before anyone would whatever fixes. But I would be interested in fixing specific issues. And now I'm playing around. I'm writing an article on like how the future internet could look alike that solves the problem of Ukraine. One example, super simple. If you go Ukraine top store YouTube trends, you would see many Russian videos. Like how on earth you can have Russian media targeting, for example, women above 50 who watch a series be available in your media landscape. How in the hell you can have a content made by pop singer, Russian rap singer or a trap singer, who makes kids be non-political by propelling the culture of like whatever postmodernism, nihilism, consumerism, buying brands and rejecting whatever the previous generations were taking care of. And there are really specific issues related to, for example, inability of big tech be responsible proactively with those things, or like Telegram having many not even fake accounts, but literally like accounts of your enemy available in your phone is something outrageous, and there's no responsible person. And it's interesting ethical thing on censorship, because kind of like we're acting that we are censorship resistant, and I'm saying that's not a universal thing, because we're inventing universal theories on the future. We need to be hyper applicable. Who will censor? Who will be censored? What the content will be censored? What the I don't know, transactions, communication will be censored? How and why? And by putting it to the specific context, you could understand better what's achievable, what's not, what could be the redesigned way of we should communicate with each other and connect with each other. And also kind of like I'm a bit tired of having too many people around complaining about how the world is bad, because at certain moment you kind of like as if you're in not just an echo chamber, but you start to feel that, oh, I heard this story 100 times. I'm kind of bored with the same stories. I like to feel new stories, hear new stories, and also I like to be inspired by people trying to solve the stories, or bringing the stories that really empowering each other. Like I made something that helps someone. Those things.
Unchecked governments have eradicated privacy and truth. Those who resist are brought down swiftly, but we refuse to submit. Unipunks are freedom fighters, protected by encrypted shadows. The future we're building is sovereign and uncensorable. The moonlit night is coming.